And a very beautiful Thursday morning to you. Welcome into the hottest spot there is in Pensacola. That is Sunshine's Corner right here at Blab TV. And today, as always, I want you to tell somebody else when you want the information. We've got it right here for you each and every weekday from 9 until 10. And not even leaving anything out, I want you to be a part of this conversation, because when I say, how can you be inclusive? Every way you can. There's a number on the screen that's going to come up, 850-432-7768. You can text or call and be a part of the conversation. Step right on in with us, enjoy it with us on this Thursday morning. I've got fantastic guests as always. And of course, first of all, I'm going to go over here. I've got two beautiful people that's with me. Thank you guys, number one, for getting up early, because I know it's early in the morning, okay? Thank you. I've got Summer here from the Ronald McDonald House. Good morning, Summer.
Good morning. It's so good to see you.
Always, always. And we have from the Supervisor of Elections Office, Mr. Robert Bender.
Yes,
good morning.
How you doing? Good to see you.
Good to see you again. Good to see you. See what I mean? We have very, very great guests. So whatever is on your mind, we're going to touch it today. And we're going to talk about a variety of things. We're going to talk about what's going on, how you can be a help, how you can be a part of the Ronald McDonald House. And of course, one thing that is utterly important to all of us is being heard. We're going to talk about the way you can be heard, and that is by casting your vote. But first of all, we're going to roll on over to Summer, because I know that there are so many things that we've talked about that's going on. And I got to say this, Summer, when I had the opportunity to tour that house, my goodness is all I can say. But I mean, there's so much, I mean, when it comes to children that people are not aware of as well as I, because I thought I knew what was going on there, and I was deadly wrong, Robert. Yeah, deadly wrong.
I know.
Deadly wrong. But Summer can tell us even more. I want her to take over and say some things and tell us about the Ronald McDonald House.
Absolutely. You know, it's really interesting. We hear that from our families all the time. You know, I have heard about the Ronald McDonald House. I gave to the Ronald McDonald House, but I never had any clue about everything that happened here until I landed here.
Exactly.
I never thought I was going to need it.
That's right.
And then they land with us, and it's just overwhelming. You know, basically the families that we take care of are the ones. It's a situation where the worst has happened.
Absolutely.
You know? Their child is sick, their child's in the hospital, their child needs treatment. So while the hospital is making sure that kid is getting the absolute best care, which is super important, we make sure that family is supported. Because when you have a sick kid, it's not just a sick kid, it's an entire family that's impacted by this, whether it's the parents, whether it's the extended family, siblings. We have a lot of siblings in the house with us, which makes it so much fun because we have kids around all the time.
Absolutely.
So basically what we do is provide everything we could possibly think of that a family would need if they're away from home. Sometimes our families are 3 hours away from home, 4 hours away from home.
And sometimes?
It's amazing how often people are on vacation in our area and end up in the hospital.
Really?
Do you know how many moms try to take that last trip before the baby comes?
Yeah.
And the baby's born in Florida.
Uh-oh.
Maybe it's our weather. I don't know what it is. We had one mom who had twins in the elevator on Pensacola Beach in a hotel and ended up with us. Yes, her father-in-law delivered them. That was a couple of years ago.
Oh my goodness.
Trying to get that last trip in. So, you know, you just never know. So,
you never know.
And especially if you're not familiar with the area, even if it's home to you, it's so important to have that support and those people around you.
Right.
Because you're not thinking about where you're going to get your next meal. You're not thinking about where am I going to sleep. That cancer diagnosis or that accident with your baby, that's all you're thinking about. You know,
absolutely.
So we come in and we've got everything they could possibly need, from food to toiletries to, you know, we have 26 bedrooms and then another 3 in the hospital.
Right.
So 29 families can stay with us at any given time.
Absolutely.
We have laundry rooms, and everything is donated top to bottom, from the food.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
It is.
Everything is donated. Everything. Because you said something, Summer. I picked up on. You said, you know, people that are flown in, and then therefore they've got to have. Now this is all something that happens so abruptly. You're not ready for it.
Exactly.
And therefore, when you get there, what I saw, the feeling that I got when I walked through, it was like there was a home. It was a room that was set up just like I'm at home, so that you can really relax and focus on the child that needs the help.
Absolutely. And that's the whole point is, people ask us a lot, well, is it like a hotel? And in some ways it is, but lots more laughing, lots more crying, lots more hanging on to babies, and everybody is a mom there, because it is a very home-like environment.
Absolutely.
We do have a lot of people there, but they become very close to each other too.
Right.
There's nothing that is more equalizing than sitting across a table from someone where you thought you were the only one in the world who's going through this.
Absolutely.
It's very easy to feel isolated, but in our house, there's somebody right across from you who is dealing with something very similar and is in similar circumstances, so they understand like nobody else possibly could.
Absolutely.
What you're going through. So
Absolutely.
Many of them stay friends for years
I can
after
imagine.
they stay with us. Come back and visit with their kids. And they're people who met in the house and were complete strangers.
No doubt.
Before, because you go through something that is life-changing in a lot of ways, and we get to experience that with them. The good and the bad.
Do you encourage people to come by to get a tour to see that?
Absolutely. I think the best thing about, well, there are lots of good things about working at Ronald McDonald House, but I think the best thing on the donor perspective is that when you give to the Ronald McDonald House of Northwest Florida, you can come see what you have given in action any day. We welcome it. We love to have people come and see the house, because you're right. Sonshine, you have been involved in the house a long time and hadn't been in it.
That's right.
But when you get there and you feel it,
it's so different.
And you're around the families and you see how they interact and how the staff is so involved, and the volunteers and meal groups, you can be in it and you can feel it, and the impact that you have, you can see.
Absolutely. It's a totally different. And I don't want to leave Robert out of this conversation. His eyes are going like, we're just talking and talking.
I mean, I think the great thing is, it's unfortunate that we need something like this in the community, but it's wonderful in how they excel in being able to deliver those services. And so it's great to have this in our community. And I know that people that come in and serve meals or bring meals, so, and again, everything's donated.
Right.
So you want to talk about, I mean, our community is so giving.
Yes.
That to think about it in all the ways that we give in this community, that people continue to focus on the families that are in need when going through a sick child or something like that. And so that, and when you hear people talk about it, they light up.
Exactly.
They get so much joy out of it, and so, or they know that they have a certain day or a certain, right before Thanksgiving, they always do it, and it's like, it's something that they look forward to giving back. So it, again, to have the wonderful healthcare systems that we have in this community.
We're very lucky.
But with those, you need facilities like this, and so it's great that we do have a wonderful Ronald.
No doubt. And Samba does a fantastic. I mean, she's just, her personality. You can see the love for what you do, and I think like that, you got to have that to be that person that can to handle what you. I would probably be in tears all day. I
am sometimes.
I know the
feeling. But you know what? We all do it together.
Absolutely.
When people are going through some really rough stuff, and sometimes it's very, very hard, but I will tell you, for the most part, it is joyful. It is fun. And even when folks, the worst happens, when the absolute worst happens.
Right.
There's been so many times when I have cried with a family and they have said, if it wasn't for you, I would not have had that time.
Oh my God.
With my child.
Oh my goodness.
And it gives you chills.
I can imagine.
Because they're so grateful to be able to still have that time right there with their baby.
If a person wants to be a part, to help,
yes,
how can they do that?
So many ways. I mean, I think how most people get involved to start with is the meal donation program, because you can do it as a church. Temple Bethel does our Christmas dinner every single year. The ladies come together and the families love it because they realize that Christmas people have their things going on.
Right.
So Temple Bethel comes in every year and does Christmas dinner.
Really?
Yes. I mean, we have so many excellent partners like that, but it can be we have school groups who come in. We have family groups who come in and cook meals for our families. We try to provide 3 meals a day as much as we can so the families don't have to worry about that. And imagine you walk in, you have not thought about eating, and you might have other little ones, and you got to make sure they're fed too.
Absolutely, they're with you as well.
And a complete stranger has made sure you have a hot meal and is standing there saying, "Hey, let me get that for you."
Absolutely.
It's it can be so life-changing.
I saw when I walked in, there's a kitchen,
Yeah.
It feels just like you're at home. There's a kitchen there. I mean, there's a closet if you need clothing. That you
Absolutely.
need. Now that's something I think that everybody should do. That the donations that need to come in. Make sure you go out and do something like that for these kids, for these families. I believe that you never know what tomorrow holds.
Nope.
You never know what may happen in your household. So take that time to go out and do something to make a difference, even if it's just buying an outfit.
Yeah. And our volunteers say it all the time that they came to the house looking for something inside them, and by focusing on someone else and being a help to them.
There you go.
It's amazing what it can do for your life. And we have volunteers who do all kinds of things in the house. We have ones who work at our events. Obviously, we have wonderful people who serve on our board, like Miss Sonshine, who is fantastic. And all of that is volunteer.
Exactly,
And
exactly.
people give their time and their energy and their love to others. And really, I can't even describe how much they tell us that they get back from it.
But of course, I mean, I think about it like this. When you've got a family, you got your children, and you never know. But can you just halfway put yourself and just think if it was your child?
Exactly.
What would you do? You would want somebody to reach out to help you as well. And I tell you, Summer, you're doing a fantastic job. And I know Pensacola has always been there to help, and they're going to help even more, because we're going to have people to make sure that you do that to help Summer, okay? But you know what? I can't look over Robert here.
No.
Oh, look, Robert, I'm ready to talk to Robert. Is our supervisor of elections right here.
Yes.
And you see, when I put the two of you together, it's like this. I think that we are doing something that's mostly important for both ends. We're talking about the family. We're yet talking about the family, because it takes the whole family that's got to come out and vote, right?
It does. It does. And we have a wonderful staff and all the poll workers that help us do it. So
Now, are they some of them volunteers?
So we do pay a stipend.
Okay.
So it is a paid. You're not going to get rich off of it.
Okay, I hear you. I got you.
but it is a long day for the poll workers that work on election day. They have to be there before the polls open at 7, usually before 6 a.m. And then after the polls close at 7 p.m., they're closing up, sending the results, doing all their paperwork. So they may not get out until after 8 or 9 o'clock. So,
oh wow.
So it is a very long day for people, and we want them to work all day. And
they get a break, right?
They do get a break. Yes, they can get lunch. So again, we couldn't do it without all the poll workers that come out, and about 550 that will come out during the election and work with us. So for a full-time staff, we only have about 15 people.
Oh, that was mine. Oh my goodness. Pardon me, my dear friends. I did not turn my phone off. Don't call me on my cell phone, please. You can call the 850-432-7768.
They were just trying to get the direct line,
Shouldn't we make her do something?
Don't
they make people dance and sing? If that happens?
Oh my God. I told you to turn your phone off, and I didn't turn mine off. But no, Robert, let me say this, because to me, now, every election year is important. I mean, the presidential election is important, all of them. Right. But this year we got an election. And what I want you just to do is to tell people to what things they got to have in order. In order that your vote can be counted.
Right.
And I mean, I say this, and when I'm out and I talk to people, is this: if you want to be heard, if you want to make a decision, if you want to help make a decision on things that's in the country, in your area, then go out and vote.
Right.
That's how you speak the loudest.
Yes.
Is casting your vote.
It is. And so, one, it's the core of our democracy. Right? And so my job is to make sure that your voice is heard.
Absolutely.
That your vote is counted.
Right.
But in terms of making sure you're registered to vote, you can go to our website, escambiavotes.gov, escambiavotes.gov. Check if, am I registered? You can also go there to register. So you will need a driver's license, social security number, things like that to register.
Right.
And then you can type in your address to find out where your precinct is. But we always like to highlight how we have 3 ways to vote.
Right.
So we have a vote by mail option, and the state statute changed last year, so we have to you have to request that every election year. So you could make that request now and say, I'd like to get a vote by mail request for the August 20th primary and the November 6th general election. And that will handle it for the year, but once January 1st rolls around, those will get wiped off, and you'll have to make that request again.
Wow.
But you can do that online, calling our office. and we can get that request in for you. So,
gotcha.
So we have our vote by mail, and then we have early voting sites throughout the county. We'll have 10 early vote sites, and those will be August 10th through August 17th, so Saturday to Saturday, that we'll have open throughout the county, that you can go in. You can go to any of those locations to vote. You don't have to go to a certain one. You can go to any one of those 10. And then on election day, you have your precincts. And so we'll send out, for anyone who's not requested a vote by mail ballot, we'll send out a sample ballot that will have the sample ballot, but it'll also have your polling location, so you know where that is. We've included QR codes, so you'll pull up and you can do it. But
wow, that's cool.
We're trying to make it very
really
easy.
Good. That's really good. But I tell you what, Robert, I'm gonna hold you right there.
Yeah.
I got a voice. Say, look, we got to go to commercial break, but we'll be right back. So if you want to be a part of this show, if you've got questions that you would like to ask Summer, or you would like to ask Robert, you can call us up at 850-432-7768 or text us at that same number, 850-432-7768. Keep it locked right here, Sunshine's Corner.
Empire Truck Sales, located at 2255 West Detroit Boulevard in Pensacola, is your Freightliner, Western Star, Detroit Diesel, and Cummins dealer for Northwest Florida. Open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., Saturdays and Sundays, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., providing sales, service, and parts. Empire Truck Sales is also your Oasis dealer for Freightliner custom chassis RV and motorhome repairs. Running I-10 will get you in.
Many who consider facial plastic surgery are concerned their results will look unnatural. But with over 20 years of serving the Pensacola community, his thousands of satisfied patients have made Dr. Derek Jones a trusted reconstructive and facial plastic surgeon known for industry-leading results that look natural. Call 850-484-FACE to schedule a consultation at one of our locations in Pensacola and Gulf Breeze.
I'm Dr. Derek Jones. Trust your face to a facial plastic surgeon.
Lloyd's Glass and Correct Calibration Services is a one-stop shop because you can come get your windshield replaced, and right behind that replacement at the same appointment, we will calibrate the cameras, and when you leave, everything's ready to go. There's no need to go to the dealership, or there's no need to come back for another appointment. We just take care of it at one time. We put the customer first, and we strive to do everything right the first time.
Lloyd's Glass and Correct Calibration Services, your one-stop shop with same-day service.
Animal Allies is looking for volunteers, and there are many ways that you can help. From taking care of cats to using your computer and social media skills, any and all assistance is greatly appreciated. We have morning and afternoon shifts every day or help at adoption events. You can even foster a kitty at home. And it counts towards community service hours for bright futures. Find Animal Allies Florida on Facebook and Instagram, or go to aaflorida.org/volunteer.
And welcome back to the hottest spot there is in Pensacola. Yes, it is Sunshine's Corner. And look, we've got a very, conversation today that's absolutely, I think you should be a part of. You know, Summer here with the Ronald McDonald House. He's covered a lot of things with the family, talking about things that happen that sometimes you're not even expecting, but there's someone there always to help you. And we've got Mr. Robert Bender in with us today. He's talking about how important it is to know where to vote. Are you registered right? All right, does your address match where you are? All of that. And Robert, I think I cut you off in the middle of that.
No, I understand the commercials pay the bills, so we have to do that. But no, so we do have the Am I Registered? You can go check your status. And I'd like to say is that Florida is a closed primary state. So in the March presidential preference primary, it was a Republican only. The Democrats did not have someone who challenged President Biden who qualified. So there was no one for them to vote on. So we just had the Republicans only, which was about 40% of our voters were eligible to vote. In August 20th, that's a primary, and again, you'll be looking at it'll be the parties.
Right.
So you'll only have Democrats on your ballot if you're a Democrat. You only have Republicans or those non-party races. We didn't have any judges that had opposition. So, but again, that's how you elect to see who's going to go to that November general election.
Right.
So
I got a question. Okay, is there a place, because sometimes people do get they don't understand that ballot.
Right.
Is there a place or some way, maybe we can put together something that can teach them how to read that ballot?
Sure. So that's one of the voter responsibilities, right?
Okay.
We want voters to be informed voters. We
Absolutely.
want you to, and that's why we send out that sample ballot. So
Right.
you can review the ballot, you can mark it up, you can bring it with you into the voting precinct or the voting booth, and if you have notes on it or something that way, because it can get a lot. Some of these ballots, especially when you start getting constitutional amendments and things like that we're going to have on the ballot this year, you can get ballot fatigue.
Of course.
You know, and
It'll wear you down.
Right. You know, and you have people that, again, the presidential is of course very important, but just as important is that city council race.
Yes.
So I was on the Kingston board in 2020, the last presidential election, where Jennifer Braher beat PC Wu by 3 votes. On election night, it was 5 votes, and so we had to do our manual recount. And when we went through, there were 2 ballots that didn't get counted because they were considered overvotes. People had marked too many spots on the ballot. But when we looked at it, we realized that they had put an X through one and bubbled in the other. So that gives us the opportunity to determine the voter intent. And so 2 votes went to PC, and he ended up losing by 3 votes to Councilwoman Braher. So.
Wow.
So again, that also shows you how important it is to vote, because when people say your vote doesn't matter, it very much can.
Exactly. What the younger people now I hear, I mean, and I'm out in the community with a lot of them a lot of the time. Oh, I'm not going to vote this year. I'm not going to do it. I mean, my question is why? How or what avenue we should use to make sure we educate these young people, just because there are things going on that you may not be pleased with,
right.
But the way you change it is by speaking loudly, and the loudest way of speaking is vote.
Yes, ma'am. So of course we like to do outreach. We were at the Fred Levin.
Downtown a couple weeks ago.
Yes. Again, so people could come by and register to vote. We go into schools and bring in some of our equipment, so that we had one a couple weeks ago where they were voting on their favorite book. That was a statewide organization that the kids got. If they had read so many books, they got to vote to see how it was. So we created the ballot for them, and then they come in and they do it at the same machine. So I was telling all of them, I said, it's tell your parents how easy it is.
Right.
You know, it takes a couple minutes. You came in, and that's the thing, is that we try to keep the lines down. And again, having those 3 ways to vote helps do that. We have it's about 30% in each bucket on ways to vote. And so hopefully when the election day rolls around, you're not going to have long lines in the precincts and things like that. Hopefully you can get in and out within about 10 minutes is what we'd like to see. So, but of course you have to come in, you have to have your ID. And then once you present that, we'll give you a slip to get your ballot. And then we want to make sure you get the ballot, the correct ballot. As I said, it's closed primary state. So if you're a Republican, making sure you're getting that Republican ballot. If you're a Democrat, make sure you get the Democrat ballot. Or if you're a no party affiliate or minor party, you get those. And then, you know, we want to be there to assist, but we also want to make sure that your vote remains anonymous.
Absolutely.
And so we always try and make sure that our poll workers are within reach of anything you need, and keeping a watchful eye on things, but also there to provide assistance, but not feel like they're checking to see who you voted for or something like that.
I just want to take a minute, because I would imagine that your job is probably a little bit thankless sometimes. You know, I don't know that people really think about how all that goes, and imagine a 3 different 3 votes making a difference. So it's one of the most important things, I believe, as an American, that you can do. And for someone who is making that available and trying to let people know, I mean, thank you.
Well, I appreciate it. It's of course something that I think you need someone with integrity and honesty.
Absolutely.
Because I feel that I am there representing you all as the voters, and making sure that the rules are followed, that statutes are followed, but also there to protect the integrity of the system and make sure that you have those, your voice is able to be counted and heard. Making sure that we do promos like this and make sure people are aware of when the voting is. Get the information out and make sure the equipment. So we have new equipment. Of course, security is a big thing. And so we take that very seriously. We have redundant procedures for the redundant procedures, and we verify things 3-4 times, and then of course, and that's just to at the end of the day to make sure that the number of people voted or the number that checked in versus the number of ballots that we have, things like that. Because if we're off by one ballot, we want to know why.
Absolutely.
And so we had a number of new staff working with us in the last election, and they said, well, how hard? I said, well, until we've said we've exhausted everything, I mean, we can't determine why. But
no doubt.
Luckily, we were able to make some of those determinations fairly quickly. And again, sometimes it's just human error.
I got you.
I mean, it's an explanation.
No doubt.
Hopefully, we learn from it and we don't let it happen again.
Absolutely.
But to know why there might be a discrepancy or a difference, and again, one vote, we want to figure out why.
Absolutely. So you see, your vote matters. That one vote, your voice is certainly needed. Question about like when you talk about the local elections here.
Sure.
When is the deadline? If there's a person that's really thinking about, is it too late for a person to say that they're going to run for an office?
Sure. It's not. So we did have the judicial and federal candidates qualifying last week. So if you're thinking about being a judge, that is too late.
Too late.
But we do have our city council races. We have 1, 3, 5, and 7 of the city council.
Right.
Now they do have some requirements that you've had to live in the city for a year, things like that. But qualifying for all the local and state candidates is June 10th through the 14th.
Okay.
And so we have a couple different ways you can qualify. One is through the petition process, where you go out and you ask people to sign a petition saying like, hey, I think you should be on the ballot. And then we count those. Usually you have to get a couple hundred to a couple thousand to be on the ballot. And that deadline is May 13th at noon if you want to qualify that way.
Okay.
If you don't qualify through the petition process, then you can pay the qualifying fee, which can range from, it can be $25 to a couple thousand up to $10,000.
Really?
And so depending on, it's a percentage of the salary.
A percentage of, really?
The salary for the
office.
For the office. I was going to say, on my salary? Okay.
And so that qualifying, it takes place between June 10th and June 14th. So June 14th at noon is the last time that a candidate come in and join a race.
Okay.
And that's even if you're going to be a write-in or a non-party. Everyone who's going to be running for August or November has that qualifying period, June 10th to the 14th.
Okay. So if a person is thinking about running for what you said, 3, 5, and 7?
So city council is 1, 3, 5, and 7.
1, 3, 5, and 7.
County commissioner is 1, 3, 4 because the seat that I previously held is open for a 2-year term, and then 5. So 1, 3, and 5 for the county commission is a 4-year term. You have ECUA is on the ballot this year. I think it's 1, 3, and 5 for that. You have your school board, which is 4 and 5.
Oh wow! I better get one of those then.
Right, and so again, we have all the list on. I might have left one out. I don't know. But of course,
it sounded really good.
Okay, well, good.
Yes, it is.
But you have your state races. So we have our state senator is up this term. Your state representative, your congressman. We have a senator, the president. All those are on the upper part of the ballot, and then again, you have your local races on the bottom. So. And then we'll have those constitutional amendments as well.
I asked that question because a person came to me and said they were thinking about running, right? I said, aren't you too late? Don't you think you should have made that decision back here a long time ago? But now I see why this person was asking me, what do you think? What do you think? I said, look, make the decision. You feel like you want to do it. Are you going to do what you're going to say? Or just get out there and do it?
And part of it is that we have specified windows set by state statute on when we have to get ballots out. Things like that. And so, for instance, for the August 20th primary, we'll start sending our overseas military voters a ballot right before July 4th. And so we have to lay out the ballot, you have to lay it out, you have to print it, you have to stuff the envelopes, everything like that. So it takes a little bit of time to do that. So really from that June 10th window, that when it starts, we'll be working through mid-November, almost nonstop, making sure that we have a successful election and get everything in place.
Absolutely. So if there's somebody out there that now, like with the people that you're saying that you need to work for the polls and all this stuff, how soon do you start looking for those? Are they already
for your poll workers? So we do have an information session if anyone's interested on May 29th. Okay. You can come learn some more information. So we have a ballot issuer. You can check people in. You can be a poll deputy. We have a number of positions that you can use. But if you want to come do that, you can get some more information on May 29th. You can also give us a call, 850-595-3900.
Got it.
Or email pollworker@escambiavotes.gov to get more information. And then you have to do training. There's a required class that you have to take.
Okay.
Just to learn overall about the election and what goes on in the area. And then we do specific job. And so you have to do that before every election.
Wow. That's a lot of work.
But again, we're gonna train you. We're gonna give you opportunity to come in, and it really is. And that, I think that's what people overlook are their poll workers. They again, we couldn't do it without them. They help us be successful. And again, I think if you have question about how the elections are run, come be a poll worker.
Exactly.
You can see firsthand the steps that we take to keep the system, integrity of the system, and again, it's a great way to serve your country.
No doubt about it. Listen, now if you've got questions, because I'm yet filled with questions now, 850-432-7768, 850-432-7768. Call or text that number. Stay close. We'll be back with more information coming to you from Summer as well as Robert right here on Sunshine's Corner. Need a new outfit for a special occasion? Look no further than Viola's Men's Apparel. Viola's has been providing the latest styles and accessories in Pensacola for over 20 years now. We have clothes for every occasion, and we offer consultations and group discounts. You can trust that our care, quality, and class will be unmatched. Viola's Men's Apparel for all of your menwear needs.
This is Wayne at Icon Automotive in Robertsdale, Alabama, and I wanted to tell you more about our powertrain warranty forever. It comes with any vehicle we sell that has 80,000 miles or less at no additional cost to you. We put our vehicles through a tough safety and mechanical inspection before it can have the powertrain warranty forever, giving you a peace of mind with your purchase. This warranty is good anywhere in the country, and it covers 100% of parts and labor with no mileage limit, and is covered as long as you own the vehicle. Come pick out your dealership car at non-dealership pricing with the powertrain warranty forever at Icon Automotive.
Watch a new episode of Crime Stoppers Wanted Fugitives every Friday at 6 p.m., hosted by Sergeant Melanie Peterson and David Craig. Your tips may be eligible for a cash reward, featuring items about officer training, various aspects of police work, and crime prevention information. You'll hear about upcoming family-friendly engagement events as well. Don't miss Crime Stoppers Wanted Fugitives every Friday at 6 p.m.
Hi, my name is Brett McCabe. This is my wife Tanya, and we're the owners of Pensacola AC and Auto Service Center.
From the moment you walk in the door, we are here to take care of you. Honesty and excellence are the standard of our team. Our goal is to give you peace of mind from oil changes to AC repair. All of our repairs come with a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty. We have a clean, welcoming waiting room with free Wi-Fi. When you leave here, you will have peace of mind. Come visit us and experience auto repair from people who care.
And welcome back to Sunshine's Corner. Man, am I being educated today. Wow, knowledge is power. And that was a lot that I learned that I thought I knew, but now I know I'm sure of it. You know, so much. But you see, I'm sure that's what's happening to you as well. But we're going to roll back over here to Summer, because I mean, like, whatever she does, and I've been thinking about this too, Summer, with the kids and the families that you take care of. We're talking about, I know that on our last call, there was a lady that was visiting on the call. I thought I was there about to cry on the Zoom. You know, but things like that. I want people to know how they can really reach out to help in so many areas. I want to emphasize that more. And if there are questions that they need to get answered about the fees, I mean, how all of that works.
Sure. Well, it's a really good question about, and we get it a lot, you know, do families have to pay anything to stay here?
Right.
So we ask families for a donation, never turn anyone away. And you know what, you know, you do what you can, what you are blessed with, and if you don't have it,
still,
it doesn't matter.
That's right.
You know, I mean, it across the board. So we have families from all walks of life. There's no income requirement.
All right.
Anyone can stay as long as you have a child who is being treated. And when we say
got a
child,
phone call. Somebody, I don't know why somebody want to ask you a question. Ask Robert, but wow, they're telling me, look, they're ringing now. Okay.
Okay,
let's take this call. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see who it is here now. Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
I am doing very well.
Yeah, the question. All right. How you doing, Mr. Sunshine? How you doing?
I'm doing fine. Let me tell you a secret. Don't try to listen to yourself on TV. Just talk to me, okay?
Yes, ma'am. I would like to ask the question, what is the starting pay for the poll workers and the debit, how many hours at the work a week?
Sure. So it's about $150. We do give $10 for coming to that required class, and that's included in that. So it's about $150 for and going up from there. It's not by much, but a little bit.
Okay.
But yes, so we'll do it's the $10 for the required training, and then and we throw that into the $150. So and usually it takes about 2 or 3 weeks after the election to get paid.
Okay. So how many polls are you going to be working out there, sir?
Oh, I don't know. I was just inquiring about it. I was just.
This sounds like somebody I know.
You're exactly right, ma'am.
Well, hello, Eddie.
Good morning, Sunshine. You're doing a wonderful job. I'm very proud of the community, proud of you.
Oh.
Get her, those two people, get her a hand clap or praise.
Oh, come on. Oh, Eddie. Cut it out, man. Well, go ahead and find out all the information you need to know now about getting to be that poll worker, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Everybody, I went, wow. I have this thing by answering the phone so much, so many years. I can hear your voice on the phone and tell you who you are. But if I'm out in the street, I don't know who. I can't. I don't get it. But if I hear it on the phone, I can tell you just like that who I think you are. That's because you answer the phone, you never see him.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. But look, that was a course of Vietnam. But what you were saying, now let's go back and finish that up, Summer.
Right. Well, when I say a child, that's all the way up to the age of 21.
Oh.
So 2 summers ago, we had a young man who was a football player, was injured, and he was being treated at Andrews Institute, and he stayed with us. He was 20. And his mom came down and stayed with him as he went through the surgery and his recuperation. So, yeah, it's not just little kids. I mean, it's all the way up to 21.
So therefore, you never know, because you never know what tomorrow holds.
No.
But to have a facility like this here, right here at home in Pensacola, because there are people that have come here. They come here to get that help, the care that's needed. That says something within itself. That speaks volumes. And I just want people to know, if you haven't been there, I encourage you to go. Take a look around. You're going to change your whole idea of what you thought the Ronald McDonald House does.
And actually, by coming and doing a tour, it's a great way to figure out the best way to get involved. Because there's so many things that you can do. But when you walk around and you see how everything works, and the kitchen and the laundry room and all of the, it's amazing how something will click and say, wait a minute, I can do that. So please don't hesitate. 5200 Bayou Boulevard. Stop by, ask for Summer. People do it all the time.
That's right.
Our phone number is 850-477-2273. You can ask for Summer. We'll make sure you're taken care of. But we welcome you, and we have people stop in all the time.
Absolutely.
Just because
we got
they
another call, Summer.
Oh wow!
We're getting out some information today. I don't know.
Tell us who it is. Sunshine.
That's right. Okay, we're gonna see. Good morning.
Good morning, Sunshine. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Okay, I just was looking at your show, and I'm proud of you. I want to say thank you, Jesus. I'm so proud of you. Just don't know. And I just heard you say, all of your callers' voice, so I know you know my voice.
Oh, so she's testing me on the air. No. She is testing me. We're talking. Well, no, I would play with having more fun. I haven't gotten it yet, but you got a question for us today?
Well, no, I just wanted to say I'm so proud of you, and I appreciate everything you do for this committee and the community. I just want to say I love you.
Well, thank you, and
I
love.
Say one more thing. You're gonna say exactly. You're gonna know exactly who I am.
Okay.
But you don't have to call my name.
Okay.
Your truck driver calls in all the time.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Okay.
Well,
Have a
thank you
nice
so
day.
much. Okay, have a great day.
Okay.
Bye
Good night.
bye.
Bye-bye.
I'll tell you that. Well, I am all about the community. I mean, I'm all about the community. Whatever I can do to make a difference, to get the information out, to help, because I believe knowledge is power. And if you get the knowledge, you use it. If you don't have it, you don't have anything. Not at all.
And they're obviously all about you too, sweetheart.
I love them with a perfect kind of love. But if you've got a question for David, I keep calling you David.
That's okay. I've been called worse.
Okay, no, if you got a question for Robert, I talked to David so many years.
I know,
if
and
you
it was
got
a long time. Too.
A long time.
Yeah, that's a long time.
It was 19 years he was there. A long time. But if you've got a question for Robert with the Supervisor of the Elections Office, or do you have a question for Summer with the Ronald McDonald House with this precious job that she has of taking care of our kids and does an immaculate job of that.
Thank you.
Once you go in and just see, and I want you to be a part of this, to help out in any kind of way. I encourage you to make sure you do that. She gave out that number again. What is it?
477-2273.
That's right. Call up Summer. Now,
Well, I was going to say, you brought up the sports injuries, and
Oh, yeah.
again, with someone who's had a child who's in the hospital or something like that.
Sure.
But if you think of especially a collegiate athlete,
Right.
that already are playing at such a high level, and they have that disastrous injury.
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal for them too, and of course we have the Andrews Institute, and,
Yep.
and again some of the premier facilities and surgeons and doctors right here in our own backyard that have people from all over the country come here to
Absolutely.
to have operations. And so but again, it's very difficult, I'm sure, for someone like that who thinks they may have a career-ending
No
injury or
Absolutely.
something like that. And so just as important as the
Oh,
family
yeah.
with the
Absolutely.
kid.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And we did his 21st birthday party.
Oh,
at
did
the
you
Ronald
really?
Yeah, I'm sure he was mortified because it was a bunch of old ladies singing "Happy Birthday." But that's what you do for family.
Exactly.
And hopefully he never forgets that.
he will never
experience.
ever forget that. Believe me. How old was he?
21.
21, and he said, what you say, mature women singing happy birthday to him.
Yes.
He won't forget that. ever. But you see, that's what love is all about. Love is an action word. You can say you love something, but easy lip service.
Yep.
But when you really, really, really love something or love what you do, you put your heart into it, and it shows, because they'll never forget that. And with all the stories and the incidents that you shared with me that goes on with the Ronald McDonald House, one of my boot campers, I call my boot campers, exercise class that I do, I call it my boot camp.
Yeah.
But her daughter, she had to have surgery on her back, and where did she go? Right there. And it's amazing, because I said, oh my gosh, this child ever going to get up and walk again? She was up walking in a week. That was amazing.
It's amazing. So my mom just had a hip replacement.
Right.
And she walked out of the hospital that day.
The same day.
Same day. They don't. You don't lay around in the hospital bed for a couple days
No.
after. And so she had, of course, rehab and
Of course.
you have to do all that. But it's amazing on how quickly they get you.
That's
up
what
and
I'm
going.
saying. I was amazed at that. Unbelievable what she did. Listen up now, guys. We don't have much longer with this hour. Now, if you'd like to ask a question of Robert, if you would ask a question of Summer, 850-432-7768. You can text us or call and get that question in. Now, David, we're getting close to the top. So, oh my God, I did it again. Look.
Hey, honestly, I take it as a compliment.
Well, if something goes wrong,
that
you
was
can
the thing.
always say, I'm David.
No, but again, 19 years. He's
Yes,
protected
it's a long time.
our elections, and he's left it in great hands. And I'm going to continue that.
You are, but we got a little, we play kickball together.
I know.
I can't believe
Where did that happen?
No, we played kickball together.
It was the Sheriff Simmons
Sheriff
had his kickball fundraiser.
Yeah, and we played, and I was on Chip's team.
The winning team, go figure.
Right.
But no, Robert, let's tell them again about the important things that they need to take note of, because it is the ways and how. We got a phone call first.
Okay.
Let's get this call first, Robert.
All right.
I bet they call it. It's gonna be for you this time, Robert. Okay. Hello.
Good morning, Sonshine. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
Good. I have a question for Summer.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I have a friend that keeps having problems. She's got a child that has some type of special needs.
Oh.
Does the McDonald House help them find lodging or any kind of special programs for children if they're having problems finding places to live or anything like that?
Most of our services are all about families who have children that are in the hospital or receiving treatment. However, I will tell you that the amazing people that work there know so many resources, and we help our families every day, whether they need aftercare, whether they need food, you know, whatever it is. So please don't hesitate or have your friend call the office, and we are absolutely happy to help in any way we can.
Okay, because I know her son is receiving some type of treatment because he has episodes. And they have problems at the school with them having the episodes, and she's having problems finding different places for him to go, or a school that actually caters to him.
Okay.
Wow.
You know, I definitely have some ideas about resources, and you know, it's one of the things that we do, even if it's not something that we do at the house.
Right.
You know, everybody in this community is connected,
That's
and
right.
especially if you've been around for a long time.
That's right.
So please get in touch with us and let us hear more about the specific situation, and we'll be happy to help in any way we can.
Okay, I will give her your number, and because I wrote the number down for the Ronald McDonald House, and because I was becoming a counselor there for a minute, so I need somebody professional to help her out.
Oh, sure.
Absolutely, absolutely. But that's a great thing that you're doing, if you're reaching out to help that family.
Yes,
I mean,
that's
because
lovely.
that's lovely right there within itself.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much for that information.
Thank you for calling.
All righty. You have a good day.
Bye-bye. And you see, everybody, this is our information link. I mean, like, if there's something you need to know, if it's about the Ronald McDonald House, if it's about the Supervisor elections house, I mean, any house, anything that's happening in this community, I want to have an avenue to get you the information that you need so you can receive that help.
Absolutely.
And each and every day there's something that's going on we may not even know about. Just like even though she was listening to us, she still asked that question. And I want you to feel just as comfortable to do the same thing. We got to run a break right now, but if you've got a question, 850-432-7768, text or call. We'll get it on for you right here, Sunshine's Corner.
I just remembered it's election day. Are you going to vote?
I don't know. I don't think I'll have time today.
Millions of eligible voters in America never make it to the polls or even register to vote. When you don't vote, you're letting other people make decisions for you and pick the things your taxes will pay for. Voting is more than a civic duty. It gives you a voice about the priorities and the future of your community and our nation. Voting gives you a seat at the table.
Do you want to create but don't know where to start? Our new fabric line will inspire you. If you can dream it, we can help you make it. From using kits that include everything you would need, to taking classes to create something more personalized, Daryl's is the place for you. No matter if you're just beginning or experienced, Daryl's has you covered. Find us at 6705 North Davis Highway. Open 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday and 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturdays.
The Reesburg Institute, Pensacola's ear, nose, throat, and voice center. We welcome you to visit us at our convenient Davis Highway location in Pensacola. At the Reesburg Institute, we offer the most advanced treatment available in a calm, stress-free environment. Since 2014, we've performed over 1,000 cases in office of balloon sinus surgery, as well as septoplasty and nasal procedures using oral sedation. The in-office procedures result in a faster healing time. Visit us and feel the difference.
Hello, my name is Eric, and this was my first visit to Little John's. The selection, the pricing here, and the customer service were outstanding. I would definitely recommend. The staff was very friendly, and they'll get you what you need.
Hi, this is John with Little John's Big and Tall here in Pensacola, Florida at 5700 North Davis Highway. Check us out at littlejohnsbigandtall.com, where we can take care of you with extra large up to 14X and large tall to 6X tall.
And welcome back to Sunshine's Corner. And believe me, we've had a fantastic conversation going on today. But I got to share with you, we were having conversation offline while we were watching the commercials. And Robert noticed something. Robert, explain what we were talking about.
So, great PSA that was saying how you need to get out and vote. But it focused on the November election. And of course, we'd say that the August primary that we have here, that's a national piece, so they don't know when each state will have their primary, but please also vote August 20th in the primary, because that's what's going to determine who's going to be on the ballot representing those races when you have the two different parties go against each other. So, so yes, so November 6th, vote then, but also vote August 20th, and there are some deadlines. So July 22nd is that day that you need to make sure that you've registered to vote, or if you want to change parties to make sure you can vote in that right party, you have to. That's the deadline for that. As July 22nd is the deadline for the August 20th primary.
How often do you get people changing parties?
It happens quite often.
Really?
Yes. So, sometimes, we have a great relationship with the Department of Motor Vehicles. So when you go in and get your driver's license or something like that, you can make a change then. Some people have moved and they want to make a change. Sometimes when you've registered to vote through the DMV, they default you into an NPA or something like that, and some people didn't realize that if you haven't specifically said which party you want to go to. But no, we do have a lot of changes that we process every day.
So if a person goes in and they put you in, they didn't ask you what you want, which party you were in. Now, if you go to the polls and didn't know where they had put you, would that affect?
It would. You would have to change it before that July 22nd deadline.
But how can I if I wasn't aware that they had put me in that area?
Right. Well, if that happens, we're going to send you some information. Right?
Okay.
So we're going to send you a voter registration card. We're going to send you a letter, things like that, say, thank you for voting. And so when you get that information, you should review it to make sure it's accurate.
Right.
And that is something that happens. We had a number of those where people showed up to the polls, thought they were registered to vote one way, and they weren't. And so.
Well, and you said NPA, so that means no party affiliation.
No party affiliation.
So that means that there are certain elections that they couldn't even participate in,
That's
right?
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Now that's a powerful piece of information right there.
Yeah.
So that happened when you get your license there at the motor vehicle?
It's one of the ways, yes, ma'am.
Get out of here.
Yeah.
So guys, you got to be really up on this if you want to be heard.
Well, again, when you're going to the DMV to either get a new license, it might be because you've moved.
Right.
And so that's a good opportunity. We have like I said, a great working relationship with them, so that way it also updates us, because that could put you in a different precinct. Again, probably not something that you think of that happens every 2 years, that I need to update my voter registration when I've moved. We have a lot of people that pre-register, and this is great for anyone under the age of 18. You can pre-register, and then that way when you turn 18, you're automatically registered to vote. And so if it happens in that window before the election, like I said, if it happened between July 22nd and August 20th, if you've pre-registered to vote and you turn 18, you can still vote in the August 20th primary.
Okay.
But if you haven't registered to vote, well, then you'd have to wait until the November primary.
Absolutely. Do you run into this a lot? Because I hear of this a lot, where people have moved and they think that, okay, I'll just keep this old address on my license, I'll do it later. That affects your voting privileges, right?
It can. I mean, one of the questions that a poll worker will ask you when you come to vote is this still your current information? Because as you know, as I said, we have 4 different elections going on in the city of Pensacola. So even if you've moved even just across the street, that may affect who's on your ballot. So we want to make sure that you're casting a vote for those that you're eligible to vote for.
Unbelievable. That's amazing.
Yeah. And what happens if somebody shows up at the wrong precinct?
Yeah.
So when they come to check in, our system will if you change that vote, or if you get there and say, no, I'm at a different address, then they'll tell you what precinct you need to go to.
Wow. I mean, so everybody, you got to be very much so attentive of this, okay? Make sure you got everything in order, because that's how you're going to be noted for your vote. Don't assume. Make sure. And
it's all about customer service, right? We don't want to disenfranchise a voter. We want them to come in and have a good voting experience.
Right.
But again, we also want to make sure it's the right one. Make sure that you're casting your ballot for you have the right races on the ballot and things like that. So, and that's why we ask those questions is to make sure that you're eligible for the races that you're voting on.
So tell everybody where they can go to the website, get a phone number, and everything to find out everything they need.
Yeah. So escambiavotes.gov is our website, and then our telephone number is 850-595-3900. So 850-595-3900. And then our email address is soe@escambiavotes.gov. And so we use that .gov domain, more security.
I got you.
In order to get that, you have to be a government agency, and that's one way that we make sure that things are secure, that you're at the right place. We upgraded from that .com a couple years ago.
No doubt.
One of those great things that David did.
Yeah.
But again, it increases that security and integrity of who you're receiving information from. You're receiving information from the government.
No doubt.
And so, but yes, SOE@escambiavotes.gov.
Got it. Now, down to your last minute now, Summer, tell them how they can get in touch with you, find out how they can be a part of the Ronald McDonald House.
Well, our website, rmhc.nwfl.org, that's Northwest Florida. The number at the house is 477-2273. Again, there's not many Summers out there, so just ask for Summer. I'll make sure you get in the right place. And come and see us.
Please.
Even if you're on the fence, it doesn't commit you to anything, being a volunteer or getting involved in some way, but just come and see the house, especially if you're having a rough day and you need a little perspective shift. It's amazing.
Of course.
I've been in situations where I've been on the way to work and, the traffic is bad or you're just not feeling it, and then you get hit in the face with someone who's really,
that's right,
really having some issues.
That's right.
And, it changes your whole life view. It's
that it does.
I don't have anything to be upset about.
No doubt about it.
I've got so much to be thankful for.
Absolutely. And let me say thank to both of you for getting up early this morning, coming in to share all this powerful information we've shared today. It has been absolutely a pleasure to sit and just talk, and I've gained so much knowledge today myself.
Me too.
Absolutely. But it's time for us to get out of here, but let me leave it with you as I do every single day. Never, ever, ever lose your focus. Always remember one thing. Keep your focus and keep God first. I guarantee if you handle your situation like that, you're going to be a total success. So until 9 o'clock in the a.m. tomorrow morning, know that I do love you with a perfect kind of love, and tell somebody about Sunshine's Corner. Until then, keep shining while I'm gone.